Hi, this is Matt from GravityWiz. Today we're taking a look at how to create a leave request form where the dates are limited to the current year, using Gravity Forms and Gravity Perks limit dates. The first thing we need to do is ensure GP limit dates is installed and activated in Spellbook. Now that's done, we can head over to our form. This is how our leave request form currently looks. We have a few fields asking for the employee's information, and then we have these two date fields for them to select the start and end date of their leave. If we take a look at the form in preview mode, we can see that these date fields allow us to select any date, even ones in the past, which doesn't make any sense for a leave request form. Let's head back over to the form editor to fix that. We'll start with the first date field. This is where users are selecting the first date of their leave. If we scroll down to the Perks tab, we can see the limit date settings. Here we can set the minimum date to current date, so users cannot select any dates in the past. Optionally, we could set a minimum date in the future by using the modifier setting. For example, if we didn't want users selecting a date less than a week ahead, we can add +1 week. In this case, I'm allowing users to select any date from today onwards, so I'll remove that bit. Now let's move on to the second date field. This is where users are selecting the last date of their leave. We need to ensure that users are not selecting a date that is before what they selected as a start date. To do that, we'll head to the Perks tab again, and this time select the start date field as the minimum date. That will ensure that they cannot select any date that comes before what they selected as a start date. Let's save the form and see how it works now. Today is the 10th of June 2026. You can see that I cannot select a date before today as the start date. Let's choose 10th of June as the start date of my leave. Now looking at the leave end date, you can see that I cannot select a date before the 10th of June, but I can select any date after it. If I chose a different date, for example the 23rd of June as a start date, you'll see that the 23rd of June is the minimum date I can choose as the end date. Okay, so that deals with the minimum date, but we also need to restrict the maximum date in both of these fields to 31st of December of the current year, so employees can only request leave for this year. To do that, we'll be using this snippet, which I've linked in the description below. This snippet is a PHP snippet, so it can be installed in your theme's functions.php file or using a Snippet Manager plugin. In this case, I'm going to use the free Code Snippets plugin, which makes it really easy to manage your snippets. First of all, we'll copy the snippet from the snippet library. Then we can head back over to our site and add a new snippet. Next, we'll paste the snippet in twice, once for each of the date fields. We then need to remove both of the opening PHP tags, as the Code Snippets plugin adds this for us. Let's also give this snippet a title. All we need to do now is change this part of each of the snippets to match our form and field IDs. Heading back to the form editor, we can see in the URL that our form ID is 14. So in both instances of the snippet, we'll replace 123 with 14. Going back to the form editor one last time, we can see that the leave start date field is ID 2 and the end date field is ID 3. So in the first instance of the snippet, we'll update 4 to 2 to match our start date field ID, and in the second instance we'll update 4 to 3 to match our end date field ID. And that's all there is to it. Let's save and activate the snippet and take a look at how the form behaves now. You can see the minimum date is still today, the 10th of June 2026, but if we move the calendar to the end of the year, the maximum date we can select is the 31st of December. We can't select a date going into next year. The same applies for the leave end date field. I hope this video has been helpful in learning how to create a leave request form where the dates are limited to the current year, using Gravity Forms and Gravity Perks limit dates. If you have any questions or run into any issues, please reach out to support, where one of our support wizards will be more than happy to help.